Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dylan Silver, and today on the show, I have real estate entrepreneur, investor, builder, and CEO of Real Property Multi-Services, LLC, based out of Houston, Texas, fellow Texan, Eileen Kukowsky. Eileen, welcome to the show.
Hello, Dylan. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. And before we hopped on here, we were talking a little bit about your entry point into the real estate space. Mind-blowing story. You got started when you were a kid. You were investing in real estate when you were a kid.
Yes, pretty much. I started at the age of 17. I was a teenager. So still in schools and studying, and an opportunity of investment came my way, and I decided let's do it.
Let's get granular here, Eileen. When I was 17, I didn't even know what real estate really was, let alone that I could potentially buy it in the next coming years. And things are changing, right? Maybe it's harder to get real estate now, but it certainly was no easy task then either. You're 17 years old. Did you know anything about the real estate space? I think you mentioned your family might have been involved as a contractors. How did you stumble upon this deal? How did you get involved?
So I was able to leave school early. I signed up for a co-op program to where I could leave school part-time, half the time. So when I did that, I was also doing medical coding and billing. I was certified at the time, also bilingual, and I was a notary, licensed notary. So at that time, I was working in the medical field, doing the medical coding and billing. And I came across an MD who offered a property that they had to sell, and I went to look at it, and that was my first property investment.
You make it seem so simple, but it couldn't have been that simple. So you came across a doctor because you're in the medical billing, right? You're a notary, so you're meeting lots of different people. You come across a doctor who had a property to sell. You're in Houston. Was it Houston at the time? Is that where you grew up?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So the doctor was also in Houston.
Yes.
Can you say which hospital this was that he worked for? How'd you come across him?
Well, I worked in the medical field, so we have one of the biggest medical fields in Houston.
Yeah.
So I worked for a doctor out there. They presented a deal that they had a 2-bedroom condo that they needed to offload, and he had 2 roommates. They were all partners on the deal, and he came up with a number. He said 15,000 for this 2-bedroom, and I just asked, "How did you come up with that number?" And he said, "Well, it's 3 MDs that live there. We figured we'd split it 3 different ways, and we'd part ways, and you take over the deal." So at that point, I said, "Sure, I'd love to walk it, and let's continue to make this deal happen if it's meant to be."
So let's get granular here, Eileen. Is that okay with you?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you're 17, your medical billing, doctor who works there says, I have a condo to offload. And he's going to the 17-year-old. He's bringing this to the office. How is this happening? This is blowing my mind here.
That's a great question. I have always been into real estate and always wanted to do a deal. So I was talking to nurses and doctors, and I just put the word out and just said, "Hey, I want to invest in a deal. If anybody has a deal, bring it my way." And just the word spread throughout the community of the office, and that's how I was able to get the lead.
And so it was $15,000 for the whole condo or for part of the condo?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
For the whole condo,
Oh,
15,000.
this is a
This was
good deal in Houston. $15,000 was the condo. I'm imagining it was if three doctors are living there, so it's a nice condo.
pretty decent. I mean, it needed some upgrades.
Okay.
And I knew exactly what it needed when I walked the property.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we negotiated terms and we came up with an agreement. At the time, I had worked for an attorney before that, and I had learned the process of how to do an owner finance deal and how to structure it. So I was able to bring that knowledge to them and negotiate the terms, and I offered 12,000, 4,000 each, drafted up the paperwork, and we made a deal.
So basically, they asked for 15. You said, I'll do 12, take it or leave it, and you gave them 12.
You got it.
Was this a cash deal?
Cash deal.
Okay, so 17, was this done at 17? You're 17 years old?
17, yes.
Okay, so 17 years old. Let's get this story. This is unbelievable. So 17, you had already had medical billing experience, worked for an attorney who taught you seller finance at 17, and was a notary. So you're very, very, are you aware kind of how much of an outlier you are at this point, or is this just kind of your normal?
You know, um, Sometimes I have my all moment and I tell myself I was so driven that it never really dawned on me um, to even think that way.
Yeah.
But as I'm older now, looking back at this story, sure, yeah, it makes me feel like, whoa, what was I doing? How did I do it? Um, so when you do a co-op program, they allow you to choose a position or whatever's available per semester. So each semester, I decided I'm going to work for the law office of Keith Lovelace, the attorney. I know I can grab some great value there. The second one was I decided let me do medical coding and billing. Um, did my license, scored really high on the test, and started doing medical coding for private doctors. So and that I didn't even know what path or what guidance it was going to lead me to. So um, just all
What did
happened.
your parents what did mom and dad do?
Oh, well, they were very excited, very supportive. Um, but at the same time, they didn't want me to deviate from education. And
Yeah.
I knew I was going to deviate from it. And I had to speak really fast. So um, I knew real estate was going to be my passion. and I didn't need to go all the way to college for it. I just needed to get the real estate education. So,
Did you get any of this from them? I think you mentioned dad was involved in contracting work. Uh,
yes.
where did this, you're so passionate at a young age. I mean, I'm 31 years old and I feel like I discovered real estate like 5 years ago that I could be involved in this. Was this something that you mentioned from a young age? Was it like an aha moment? Were you seeing dad work on homes? How did this come about for you?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, so my dad is also a builder. He worked for top builders in here in Houston.
Okay.
I grew up in the construction world.
Yeah.
So some of my workers still till this day have known me since I was a little girl. Super close to retiring, but some of my guys still know me since I was a teenager.
So you're seeing dad go out there, and is he doing like subdivisions? What was he a lot of his work that he was doing?
He was doing a lot of home renovations, remodeling. He was part of some new construction deals as well,
Mm.
some private townhomes and condos over there by Kima Boardwalk. He was part of a lot of different construction projects. He was the foreman, he was the general contractor, he became the builder, and um, really close with top builders in the world. So
So you're seeing him invest in these deals and you're thinking, you know what, I'm gonna carry the torch and I'm gonna take it to another level.
it You just nailed it. And I
Uh-huh.
thought to myself, if I do this, I'm going to do it on a whole nother scale. And I just went to my dad. I just remember being 7 or 8 years old. I was
7 or 8.
I was like in a little, those little doctor chairs that twirl around.
Yeah.
Um, I was sitting on one of those, watching my dad tape and float on these high 30-foot ceilings. He was on stilts with all of the teams and all of the guys, and he was running teams and construction teams. So it's pretty much in my blood. I grew up, I eat, sleep, breathe this stuff. But then I just took it to a whole nother level with my designing, the construction design. I just have this gift is what people are saying when I walk into a property. I just know I want to tear this wall down. I want this one. I want open concept design. Let's do an arch here, blah, blah, blah. So, we just go with what the flow of the house and the comps look like for the area. But yeah.
I think we could probably fill up a whole podcast, maybe two podcasts, with scaling from that first deal, 17 years old, 12,000 for a condo, to then where you are today with, high-end remodeling, construction, high-level flips, your experience in underwriting these deals, you know, large real estate portfolio. But I want to see if you can give us the cliff notes because I want to dive into that. Give us the cliff notes of how you scaled from that first deal at 17 years old to where you are today. How did that growth process look like, the cliff notes?
I feel like there's probably three. The first one would be the 17. And then I got introduced to my mentor, who was also a real estate investor. Her name was Nancy Berg. Little did I know that I was going to land into a gold mine um, when I met her. Fate was just right there, lied in the palm of my hands. And when I met with her, um, she wanted me to, um, I guess she saw something in me. And I didn't know it at the time because keep in mind, at this time, I'm already probably 18, going on 19. I had finished the 17, the condo deal, flipped it, made an amazing profit from it. Um, I don't know if I told you that. When I purchased it at 12,000, I invested about 15K in the rehab, turned around and sold it for about 92. So with that money, I just knew I needed to do something else. So then I ran into my mentor, who had a condo for sale that I wanted to purchase. But this one I wanted to buy and hold. So I did. I offered her terms. I did the negotiating skills and offered her an owner finance and I underwrote the deal with her, basically gave her my terms and she accepted. Then after that, when I came back to the table, she had another deal to present to me. And I wound up purchasing that one as well. And at this time, I'm 18, 19 years old, and I have a condo and a house. So I returned back on the third time, and she had a list of paper on the table. In the front, tons of addresses. On the back, tons of addresses. At that point, I didn't know what to do. And I asked her, what was this? Did you want me to alphabetize this? Is there something you needed me to do with this list? She says, well, that list is all the properties that I own, 92 properties. I own them all. I see greatness in you. As a matter of fact, I see myself in you when I was your age. At this time, she has a head full of white hair. She's 70 something years old, ready to retire. She says, take that list home, analyze it, let me know what you want to do. And I said, well, what do you mean? She says, we can come back and talk. So I took the list, I went and researched, and turns out that I saw a bunch of addresses in the same address of the condo that I had just purchased from her.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Turns out she owned the multifamily building. Turns out that I said, well, out of all of the investments, wouldn't it be smart to just invest in one location? That way, if I have any rehabs or remodels, it's all in one location. I can handle it. I'm 19 years old. I thought, let me just stay in a little cluster.
Yeah.
So I went to her and I said, I want to purchase all these addresses. She says, good choice. Also, I'm president of the board, but I no longer want the title. I'm going to hand it over to you. You're going to become majority ownership. So your vote will count for more than 1% of the vote, and you will automatically be in as the president of the board. At that time, I said, whoa, not only was I going in there for investments, I went in there I was going to I was given a title to become president of the board, learn the operations, the systems, and how to run a board along with managing a multifamily unit.
This was like a condo association?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, wow. So
So
this is a big life event. Big life event. So this is Nancy Berg in Houston, basically hands you a portfolio opportunity and president of condo association, if you will. You're 19, unbelievable. At what point in time did you start getting into the high level remodels?
So I was parked there for about 20 years. I was president for over a decade. I purchased all of the condos, around 19,000 each. At that time, it took me some time to flip them little by little, 10xing the complex from 19,000 to now worth over 120K each. So I 10x that multifamily unit, commercial property, um, generating passive income, getting taking the knowledge that I've learned from all the contracts, started renting each one of my units. I became my own property manager. I was managing the property. I was leasing them. I was the leasing agent for each one of them. In the meantime, I was receiving income, passive income, enough to pay off my note to her as an owner finance package deal that I had structured with her, and receiving $300 to $500 per unit profits for over 20 years, earning over $3.7 million, taking my $19,000 investment per unit and turning it into a $3.74 million passive regenerating income for 20 years. And then
Unbelievable.
that's what I sold everything. I went through a crazy catastrophic divorce, hit rock bottom, and took a couple years off to regroup, reframe. I knew that everything I had built, there was one thing that couldn't be taken from me, which was my knowledge, my
Yeah,
experience.
no
So then
question. No
that's what
question.
that transitioned me to become stronger, better, and faster. And then that's when I came across $1 million flip that was presented to me by a wholesaler. Um, I underwrote the deal and I said, well, if this is going to be my shot, it should be now. This is what's
And
going to
so,
take.
$1 million flip, was this a deal that you bought for $1 million, or was this a deal that was a heavy rehab or a high level rehab that then was a return of 1 million?
Oh, that's a good question. This, I purchased it at 575. The
Hmm.
ARV was 1 million, under 1 million, like
Okay.
970 something.
Yeah, big risk.
Um,
Yeah.
it was a huge risk for me, but I knew I was ready for it based on my history, my knowledge. I was so ready for this deal. And I knew that this deal was either going to make me or break me. So I dropped everything and gave this deal my undivided attention. And I knew if this was going to be the time or the opportunity, it's going to be now to allow me to get back to where I once was at, before, the little dip that I took in the
Sure.
journey. So, um, it allowed me to have great value and appreciation for things, um, based on everything I've been through. But the deal was a deal that made sense. When I walked the property, when you get into these high-end homes, there's a lot of stuff that you can save. You look deep. For me, I look deep into the carpentry, the craftsmanship, and because there were so many beautiful designs for the craftsmanship, I knew that this place, all it needed was a facelift. The only thing I changed there was the primary bathroom. I did gut that completely and turned that into a shower tub combo to make it more luxurious. So I went in there with the mindset of only pouring 120 in rehab, um, for it to be basically leave the exact structure and then turn around, put it on the market, sold in 11 days, earning six figures. So,
So that would start a business. That would start a high end remodeling business. I think this is a very niche space. I've had maybe two other people in this space. Most people who do fix and flips, when you hear that term, it's for a lower price point. But this high end, it takes a lot of good underwriting. There's a lot more risk because you're dealing with now kind of leverage, if you will. And then as well, you have to have the expertise to be able to select location, to be able to see trends, then to be able to uh, outfit the home properly in order to get that exit that you need. As someone who's successful in this area, do you have any specific guidance for folks who may be looking at high end, high level remodeling, high level flips as something that they're interested in, what would be your advice to them if they're starting out?
Location, location, location. Know your location. My farm is Memorial. I have pinned the location down to the T. So know your areas before you do this. Do your due diligence, run your comps, have an amazing team behind you, realtor agents that will run the comps with you. I look at the different pictures and the comps in the area, and I do the comparison analysis based on what their design looks like, and then I try to take it up a notch. So what I do is I try to go one better. And when I put it on the market, I put it on the market 5 to 10 to 15, 20K lower. So that's my strategy.
That is a gold nugget right there that I think a lot of people listening to this will say, yeah, that checks out. I should take a look into that myself. Eileen, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go to get a hold of you?
So yeah, they could come and they can reach me on any one of my platforms, which I can also share the links with you on that. They can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I am my website there. I can send all that information over to you, so you guys can click on the links, follow, like, and comment below. Yeah, I'm here to answer any questions or concerns.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here, Eileen. We appreciate having you.
Yeah, of course. I loved being on here.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.